Hello. I wanted to create a short video to make somewhat of a public service announcement so people aren't baited into builds that look good on paper but are still kinda shit from the 3.25 patch notes. While I do encourage experimentation, and I do believe Melee is looking very strong overall, I hate to say it, but Melee is still Melee. Some melee skills got triple the damage as what they were doing previously, but even if default attack had a 1,000,000% damage multiplier, it would still be a bad skill, outside of probably one-shotting bosses. But to gear up to one-shot bosses and or to get to the bosses, you'd be running maps in like 10 minutes each. In general, what was good previously is still what is good currently. In a min-maxed softcore setting of the game, when you have a few hundred divines, it doesn't really matter the damage effectiveness of skills, because you basically one-shot everything anyway. So it is how you deal the damage that matters. That is why I still believe Shockwave Cyclone, Rage Vortex of Berserking, and Ground Slam are the best melee skills for mapping. Cyclone and Rage Vortex because you can kill while moving, and Ground Slam because its base AoE is the best true melee skill in the game. Now, bossing is a little different because speed and AoE doesn't really matter, so this is where the melee buffs will shine. But the old best skills are still the best skills, like Dual Strike of Ambidexterity, Molten Strike, Armor Stack Smite, and Lightning Strike. And yes, the damage of melee looks insane in 3.25, so I would guess you will see a lot of other different skills killing bosses very easily. Now, I will say, Melee has gotten closer to other OP skills that can off-screen, like bow builds, Spark, or Discharge, so I do think Cyclone or Rage Vortex of Berserking is now better than a min-maxed Righteous Fire character for overall gameplay. I think Ground Slam is better than Discharge for specifically bossing, but not for mapping yet, and I still believe Mana-Forged Arrows to be better than Lightning Strike. Lastly, in my opinion, while you can use bleed builds and poison builds for mapping, they are best used for bossing characters since the appeal of damage over time skills is typically to have higher uptime on bosses. Instant damage is best for mapping scenarios. But I will say, Veranostra charge stacking Slayer with Gladiator's Weapon Master does look pretty interesting, and also, Strength Stack Wanders are completely broken.